Welcome back, everyone. It's Tuesday, and you should know what that means. It is time for our Treasure Hunt Tuesday game.
Yeah.
Everyone in the world should know how we play it by now, but let's go through the game rules one more time. Steve?
All right, here we go. So we're going to meet a guest who's brought with them an item that they hope is going to turn out to be worth lots and lots of money. Then Kim and I are going to ask questions about the item, and then we're going to guess how much we think that item is worth. Now, please welcome the woman who will either make or dash our treasure hunter's dreams, Ph.D. Antiques Appraiser, Dr. Lori. Dr. Lori, good to see you.
Welcome back. It's always good to see you.
So good to see you. Okay, let's meet our first treasure hunter for today. Come on out here, Joe.
All right, Joe.
Here's Joe.
Two-fisted.
Hi,
Yeah,
Joe.
right?
Let's put these
It's
here.
really old.
That looks old.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, guys.
Oh,
Yeah.
How are you?
Tell us a little bit about these. How'd you get them?
I picked these up at a garage sale.
Garage sale. Spend a lot?
No.
No.
Picked them up for $1 each.
A buck each. $2. That's it. Did you negotiate?
I should have.
Yeah. Always. You should have. You should have. You should have. Okay. So you've got these pieces, and you said, what made you buy them?
They just looked really old. I don't know much.
Okay, so we don't know how old.
No.
Just really old.
No.
Not last week, not 1950.
I'm hoping 1800.
You're hoping 1800s.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
What attracted you to them?
They were very unique, and the funny part is that I had purchased many other items at the sale, and these were left at the end of the sale. So actually,
A good time to do some negotiating at the end of the sale because, you know, the people at the sale are tired.
Right.
They're like, it's going to the
Get rid
curb
of it.
anyway. Let's just get rid of them,
is
right?
true.
Yeah,
at
yeah,
$1 each, they sat there all day.
They sat there all day.
Right.
Other questions?
So
Dr.
when you
Steve?
look at the back, did you see anything interesting about them?
I did. On the back, it's marked signed by E. Grutzner, and I brought them to my friends over at Pandora's Box, and they did a little bit of research for me, and they found out that the artist was actually one of Hitler's favorite artists, and that he thought that one day they would be worth as much as Rembrandt's.
Oh.
See, now to me, when I hear that's somebody on the internet making up stories. That's somebody telling a story.
Oh.
Because, you know, it was Hitler's favorite artist, and he's going to be worth as much as Rembrandt.
Dr. Lori just
and-
snatched us all out of his story. We were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right,
she's like,
right.
I call BS on that.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's why I'm here.
I kind of do.
Right.
That's why
I
I'm
kind
here.
of do.
All right.
But okay, so he's a relatively well-known German artist, or at least Hitler knew him. Okay, you guys have to
Right.
make a decision.
They do look old.
I'm going to
give
do
you
like
that.
each,
Okay.
like a price each,
No,
right? Okay.
no.
The
This
size-
is a
one,
pair?
This one, I'm not going to have you evaluate. I'm going to have you evaluate this one because that one's in pretty
all
poor
tattered.
condition.
Right. Okay, we're just going to evaluate
We're
that
going to
one.
evaluate this one. Dun, 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 this one.
Okay.
So give me a number for this one and include the frame. I let Joe show you the other one because we're going to talk a little bit
Okay.
about condition. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. So what do you think,
Okay,
Dr.
I say
Steve?
$250.
$250 for this one.
Right.
Includes the frame.
Because frames are expensive, and
Yeah.
it really looks old to me,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look like some, you know, copy, like something cheap. Somebody painted that. I don't know if it was this person or not, but
The Grutzner or not.
yeah.
Kimberly?
Right. I agree with Dr. Steve. You know, I think the same way. I said $300.
You guys really are pretty close.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
let's
really
say we're
close.
getting
I was
like-
actually going to write $250, and I said, oh, just go $50 more.
Okay.
Right,
Got
right.
nothing to lose.
Well, let's look at them. Let's look at them, Joe. Let's take a look and see what we really are looking at. So basically what you're looking at here is this particular piece is indeed an oil on panel. So it's oil paint on panel. It also is a work by this artist Grutzner that you maintain, and he's active from about the 1850s to about 1920.
Okay.
This particular piece, if you can see it, it's flaking here and flaking here. Well, this is actually a reproduction of one of his famous paintings.
Oh, wow.
So this one is indeed a copy. It's a print, and it has been shellacked with dark mar varnish to make it look like a painting. Okay? So that's what you have. Now, they are in matching frames. What's interesting about it is, and this is why I had you evaluate this one and not that one is the reproduction, the copy, the cheapie. This one is actually the real deal.
No.
This particular
Really?
piece has a 19th century composition matter frame, and sometimes damage can actually teach you a lot. This frame actually has a wood underframe, then it has composition matter, like plaster of Paris. They mold it together to make all these pretty scrolls. They paint it all red, just the frame, and then they paint it over or they gild it with gold leaf.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Your frame is worth about $500.
Oh, man.
The painting inside it is worth another $1,500.
That's pretty good.
Wow.
Well, Joe is winning.
Actually, $1.
$1.
Right? The other one.
$1.
But what happened was somebody decided to take the small one and to put the the fake basically in the same frame. So the frame is period. What does that mean? It's of the same period as the work of art. Joe, how do you feel about the appraisal?
I feel great.
Yeah,
I'm shocked because I thought it was the
I think
reverse.
you owe me dinner, don't you?
Let's go. I heard you're single.
Let's go.
All right, so
that
you know
means
what?
Kimberly.
Woo!
Yeah.
She's our winner. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you, guys.
Very nice.
Okay, let's bring out our next guest. Please welcome Barbara and her beautiful and maybe valuable bracelets.
All right.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, nice to be with you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
These are beautiful.
Those
So
are
tell us
beautiful.
your story. How did you acquire these?
Well, I saw them online, and it was an online auction, and I
Was it late at night? Were you drinking wine?
Yeah, actually it
Don't you like
was.
to, don't you like to shop, drink a little wine,
Yeah.
click, click, click? That's pretty. That's pretty. Do you do that? No, I'm kidding. No,
I actually did.
I totally do that.
And so I purchased them for like $50. I thought they were pretty.
For yourself.
For myself. They looked very Victorian. They were silver. I liked the detail work. They had a nice,
Look Victorian, detail work.
yeah, they looked pretty.
They have a nice hinge.
Yes.
Okay.
nice hinge.
Yeah.
Okay. They both have that same hinge. They open like that. There's a mark on them, 925.
925.
There's a mark on them, on both of them. They
Okay.
both have the same mark.
They both have the same mark.
They do.
So was there any information in the description when you ordered them that kind of like stood out for you?
No, just silver bangles.
So you went by the beauty of them, that you like
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Okay.
I was hoping they were a little bit more valuable than what I paid for them.
What makes you think that they're valuable?
They just look very old.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is age a value indicator, do you think?
Sometimes it can be.
I think
Age is never a
so.
value indicator.
No?
No.
Never.
I have junk in my house. My grandmother had junk in her house. Sometimes it's older junk.
So junk is junk.
Junk is junk. So
Got
just
it.
because it's older doesn't mean it's more valuable.
Oh,
Okay.
just because you're older doesn't mean you're more valuable. I couldn't resist.
I didn't mean to
I
walk
owe
her
you.
into
I owe
that.
you a drink. I'm
That's
sorry.
okay. 2 drinks.
I mean, I love stuff like this, so I would be just like you, sitting in front of the computer, having a glass of wine, and be like, "Oh, those are pretty." Boop. Buy those. And I probably wouldn't think anything else about it. I don't know. There's a lot of detail. Those look like flowers there.
So is that more work?
That's more work.
So that's more work.
Yeah.
And Dr. Steve is making faces.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't trust things online. You gotta
Oh,
look at
okay.
it, hold it,
Okay.
touch it.
You like
see
to
it.
touch and feel it tactile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all the time we have for questions. Can you help us when they're going to write
What
down
do
the
you guys
numbers?
What do you think about these?
$100. $15.
I think we're going to be completely opposite on this one, Dr.
Maybe.
Steve.
You're going to reveal what you thought. Kimberly, $250.
$250.
Wow.
Okay.
I think $250.
Okay.
I think they're worth $40.
$40 a pair.
Did
for
you have
both
the
of
right
them.
pair?
So
Yeah.
he's one of the people like in the audience that thinks you pay too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about what these are. These are called snuff bracelets. You know what snuff is? It's drug
Yeah.
paraphernalia.
Oh.
Ah, so what you would do is you would open up your bracelet and you would put your snuff or your poppy seed drugs in here that you would snort, and you would close your bracelet, you place it on your wrist, and you walk around, you go about your day, and when you need a little, let's go, right?
Really?
That's what these are. They are Victorian, as you said, which means they date from the reign of Queen Victoria. Anytime between 1837 and 1901. She dies in 1901. And snuff, of course, in the late 1800s is very popular. So what you have that you thought were bracelets, or just bracelets, are actually a couple of things. They have a dual purpose. So they make you look good and they make you feel good.
You probably should watch not getting pulled over on the way home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
There you go.
But of course they are empty at this point, but as you'll notice they're hollow in a portion right here. This little bulbous area is hollow, and they are really quite fine. Value on them, about $350 for the pair.
Winner!
Tricky.
Winner!
But, you know, Dr. Steve was incorrect, unfortunately, in the fact that he thought that these were machine-made, and actually all those details are done by hand. So they are actually carved into wax, and then with the lost wax method, like jewelry casting, that's how they're done.
Right.
So thank you very much, Barbara. We've still got one more item to appraise, and this one will take us back to our country's brightest future and darkest days, all wrapped up into one. The question is it authentic? You won't want to miss this one, so come on back.
Nice.
Very nice.
Welcome back to our Treasure Hunt Tuesday game.
Right. For
So
those
far-
of us, yeah.
So
keeping
far,
score.
you're losing.
I am losing. She got me on the snuff bracelets. I'll give you that because I thought those
You
were junk.
thought they were junk.
I thought they were total junk. But what do I know about bracelets? So I'm okay.
Okay, I'm glad you
down
don't know anything about
2-0.
bracelets.
Let's go.
We have to
All
teach you
Last
about
chance.
jewelry, Dr.
Right,
Steve.
right, I know
Our
nothing about
final
it.
treasure hunter has 2 driver's licenses. One is his, and the other one is from one of our most notable and tragic political figures. That is, if it's the real thing. Let's please welcome Rick. Hi, Rick. How you doing?
Good, Dr. Larry. Pleasure.
Put that
at that.
right
Wow,
here.
look at that.
Look at that. So, Rick, tell us about this.
My grandfather drove for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. when he came to New York City, when he was gearing up to run for presidency, because he was a lieutenant with the NYPD. He gave it to my grandfather and said, if I ever become president, this might be worth something.
Just handed it over because he wasn't having to drive much anymore?
Exactly.
Oh, okay, here, you can have
And then my grandfather gave it to my father, who was also NYPD.
it. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wonderful, you guys. So, do you have any questions for Rick?
I'm liking the story.
You're liking the story?
I don't believe that your father and grandfather would have made this up. So
No.
I'm betting.
Most collectors like the story.
Yeah, but I can't imagine they would have done that and handed it down as an heirloom. I'm guessing it's legit.
So what he has is something called provenance, from the French to prove it, which indicates that this particular piece has come down in the family. I always say, don't sever provenance, because if you sever provenance, you sever actually the value. You break it from the family line. It's that old saying your mother would say, keep that in the family, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
You want to keep things in the family because
Okay.
it actually increases value.
So I have one question for you. Did you check to see if that signature matched a Robert Kennedy signature, maybe online or something?
Yeah, I did. I looked up his permit that I found. It was the only thing I was able to find. And, I mean, to my eye, it looked the same.
Okay. So
Right.
Well, now let me give you a comparison for the market, which might help you to make a decision. John F. Kennedy's Jr., John F. Kennedy, our president,
Right.
his passport sold, and it sold for $42,000.
sure. I
So
would
now,
expect that.
Wow.
okay, there's maybe a comparison for you of a federal document, an important document. Remember, of course, that Robert Kennedy, Bobby as he was well known, is at this time not only an attorney, well respected, of course, and also a politician, but he also was the Attorney General
Right.
under his brother. The audience, what do you think? Help him out. 20,000. 50,000. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
You're done with questions. I've got to make you reveal, Dr. Steve.
Okay.
I'm sorry
I'm
to
going
rush
with-
you.
No, that's
but
okay.
you make split-second
I am
decisions
going
all the
with
time.
25 grand.
25 grand. Oh, gee, 25
Get out of
grand.
town.
Wow.
All right, we're on the same page.
We're
here.
on the same page. All right. Okay.
right.
And?
So this particular piece is authentic. That's first.
Knew that.
I would say that your story is credible. And you can actually document that story. And I tell everybody, document the story. It doesn't have to be fancy. Write it down for the kids and the grandkids. Get there, tell the story, tell the family history, do it. Value on your piece is $5,500.
Wow.
Very nice. Yeah.
All right, we
Really
overshot
quite nice.
that one, but
Yeah, but still, I mean,
The autograph is
Yeah.
really where most of the value is, and the fact that this is a particular document that relates very, very personally to someone.
okay.
The passports always go much higher than that.
But I can
Your state driver's
imagine
license.
if there was an avid collector out there of
Kennedy
Kennedy
collector.
memorabilia,
That's
that
right.
you could get more money for this.
And there are certain times of the year when you should sell it, and there are certain anniversary times when you should sell it. So
Right.
he's assassinated in June of '68.
Right.
So every June of a year that ends in an 8, we see that market spike. Thank you so much, Rich. I appreciate
Rick,
that.
fantastic.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lori. I love our Treasure Hunt Tuesdays
Me
where
too.
we
It's
go out
fun.
and have some fun together. So we're going to be doing that again next week.
Yeah, lots and lots of fun. All right, but for now, there's more of the Doctor and the Diva that's coming up next.